Hey everybody, it's Derek from lifeinmyfinances.com. Every once in a while, I take a question from a reader and just basically say to them what I think they should do. I think it helps them a lot. I think it helps my readers a lot. And it's actually kind of fun to get the readers' interaction on it too. So I've got a good question from Steve. I've got it right up here. He says he's 51 years old. He hates his job. He has $250,000 saved up and he really doesn't know what to do with it. So of that 250, he's got 150 of it in a self-directed IRA, and he said the other 100,000 is just in various bank accounts. He owns a rental property and a personal residence, but he has both of them with mortgages on them. So he's wondering what should he do. His two options. He did say he wanted to do possibly like a 1 year sabbatical away from work to come back. He didn't know if he was in a position to do that. And then his second piece of this is since he hates his job, he's thinking of maybe starting his own business and going that route. But again, he's not sure if he's financially ready for that. So, Steve, I thought about your question for a bit. And when I do that, I tend to think back to different articles I had written. So, Steve, you and the readers, I'm going to take you along to my website here, lifeinmyfinances.com. And one of the articles that I thought was really helpful for a lot of readers at the time was this one called Retirement Savings by Age. Are you on track? So for many people, a great place for them to be is to save up enough money in order to retire on about $50,000 a year. That's a pretty safe amount to retire with. And when I say 50,000, I mean of today's dollars. So I've actually tracked this out 20 years in the future to the future $50,000, which of course will be more than that due to inflation. So when you look at this article, I basically have up how much do people have in savings on average, and it's not good, which is what's to be expected, right? So Steve, you're 51 years old. Typically people have about 87 grand saved up. So you've got 250,000. So you're doing better than average. But are you doing well enough to have that $50,000 a year income based on the savings that you've got? So if you scroll down through this article, I've got the chart that I made of if you want to pull out 50 grand a year and still be good for 30 years in the future, how much should you have? So at 50 years old, I calculated that you're going to need 319 grand. So 250 again is great. You're doing a great job, Steve. It's not quite the 319. So based on that, if I were in your shoes, Steve, I would say, first of all, here's the steps I go through. You want to be completely out of consumer debt. I assume you are based on the way you're asking the question. You want to be investing for your retirement. You're doing that. You're doing great. Thirdly, I would actually tackle the mortgages. So if it were me, I would first pay off my personal residence. So whatever you've got left on that, let's say it's $50,000 to take care of that. So I think you said you had 150 in cash. Yep. No, you had $100 in cash within the bank. So with that 100,000, I would take 50 of that, put it toward your home mortgage to consider that paid off. Again, I'm assuming you have 50 left on it. If it's more, I would use that. For your rental, you have to think, do I want to be in the rental business? If you really like it, then I would work toward paying that off. If you really don't, then I'd probably sell it and use the funds maybe towards starting your own side business. Or if you don't want to do that, then I would put that toward your retirement accounts. Cash just isn't doing you a lot. So either pay off debt, invest it, or get rid of the items that you don't want, don't need. So the other piece that I want to tell you is with the side business. You mentioned, okay, I guess first of all, your 1 year sabbatical. I wouldn't recommend it now. Again, your life, Steve, you can do whatever you want. I understand you hate your job, but I'd really like to see you in like a $400,000 camp for retirement funds right now in order to do something that crazy. So the second piece you asked about is what about another business? And you can honestly start a business whenever you want, just on the side. There's so many businesses that have started on the side that have turned into crazy $1 million businesses. And with that, obviously, you could retire from the job you hate, no problem. What I would do to start there is, again, back to my site. On the left side of the page, I've got a link here, free step-by-step guide, how I started my blog. That's really step one. If you want to start a business, you really have to have a web presence today. So I made it super simple. How do you sign up through iPage? I think it's $24 to sign up for a full year. So you can just try it out. And then even beyond that year, I think it's like, $50 to $100 depending on what you want to do per year. So you can really decide, am I making money through this website in my side business or not at that 1 year mark? If not, you can stop it. If you're making good money, you probably want to continue it. I'm also starting to get more free guides up here. So I just posted one. Maybe I can even find it on the site. If I click on the home page, I think it's one of the more recent articles that I've got. It's basically titled how to make your site look more appealing. 2 simple steps to make your blog look awesome is what I said. So I started a little side blog just to help people start from scratch, basically. So I've got that. And as I'm pulling it up here, I can just show you. It's a really great resource for anybody that's looking to start their own webpage that really has no experience before. And you can go from what it starts looking like as this, and just in a half hour or less, I turned my site into this. So really elegant, really clean, simplesidehustles.com. So I hope that helps you, Steve. You've got a ton of options. Again, you've done great, and do whatever you think is necessary. But again, readers, I'd like to hear your take on it too. Give Steve your opinion. If you've got 250 grand, 150 of which is in an IRA, and 100 grand of which is just in bank accounts, what would you do if you were Steve? So leave him your notes in the comments below. If you want to do a response video, that might be fun. You can put the link in the comments below there as well. So thanks, Steve, for your question. Thanks, readers, for listening. Hopefully I hear your input down in the comments. See you guys. Have a good one.